Hello curl friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you join me today. Today we are doing an updated diffusing routine. I figured I better do this because I think it was maybe like the first year I started my channel was the time that I had done a diffusing routine, and some things have changed since then. I've changed my techniques a few. I've changed, I think at that point I have a different diffuser. Actually, I know I have a different dryer, but I think I have a different diffuser head. So if you'd like to know the best diffusing techniques to get volume to your hair, definition, bounce, and minimal frizz, then you're in the right place. I encourage you to keep watching and I will give you all my tips and tricks to get you the best curls possible. Okay, so even though this is a diffusing routine and that's primarily what I'm going to focus on, I do want to show you the products that I have gone in with for my wash day and even styling process. I started out my wash day with the Joico. It's the Defy Damage. I have the shampoo and the conditioner. I absolutely love the shampoo and conditioner. I have more information on it on my full Joico review, and I will leave that linked up in the cards. As a matter of fact, I'll be referring to that video because the stylers that I am going in with are the Joico stylers as well. Like I said, I've used all these stylers before in that video and I go into more of the details, more of the process. You can actually watch the full routine, pretty much the full routine. I think the only thing I don't really show much of is the diffusing. Actually, I don't show any of that. I just tell you that I'm going to be doing that. So that's what this video is for today, showing you the diffusing. But let's get back to the stylers though that I'll be using. I will be brush styling in the Joico Curls Like Us Hydrating and Defining Curl Cream. Fabulous cream. It does great at defining your hair. It's moisturizing, but it's not too heavy for your hair, at least in my opinion. And I have more of a finer, softer finished hair, if that helps in comparison to what it might do for your hair or not. The next styler that we'll be going in with after we have brush styled the cream is the JoiGel Firm Styling Gel. Now, in my opinion, this is the product that I am like the least impressed with out of this whole line. The shampoo, the conditioner, the cream, and the last product that I'll show you. This one I still need to play around with more, just using it as more of like a single styler or with a pared down styling process. But right now I don't think that this one offers like a ton of hold in my process, but I like it when it's paired with all three of these stylers. And so the third styler is one that I really have come to love. It's the Joico JoiWhip Firm Hold Mousse. Absolutely love this. I think it does a fantastic job at giving hold, giving lift, and just, you know, adding some extra shine to your hair. I feel like even possibly because when I've just used this, the gel and the cream together, I don't feel like I got the shine, but I do feel like there was an extra little luster on my hair using this. All that to say though, like I said, this video is not specifically on these products, but I just want to kind of tell you about what products I will be using. So I'm going to get to styling, like I said, with these products. Oh, I told you I was brush styling this in. I'm going to glaze this gel on over top, and then I'm going to scrunch this mousse in. So that is going to be the process, and I think I need to get busy doing all that. All right, we are past the styling portion. My rope is clearly very soaked and my hair is up in what I call a wet plop. Now, whether you do this or not is going to make a difference, I feel like, in how your hair will dry, how your curls will turn out. But you have to decide what is best for you. Let me talk you through this a little bit better than what I think I've done so far. So for my wet plop, I have a disposable shower cap, which I use just to keep the reusable one a little bit cleaner and everything like that. It keeps all the hair products, just all the moisture, you know, tucked up close to my scalp, which most people would say is not a good thing, but I don't leave it there all that long, okay? I'm looking at 10, maybe 15 minutes at the top. Then I use the disposable shower cap just to kind of help keep everything up top rather than sagging, because if I would just use this disposable shower cap, my hair would flop around a whole lot more. So the reason why I choose to do this wet plop is because I feel like it gives time for the products to soak into my hair a little bit better, for my hair just to like marinate in the products. I've said this before, I said it a lot of times. I've talked about why I choose to double plop, or why I choose to wet plop, sorry. It's a personal choice for me. Now, what it does lead to in the diffusing process is a longer diffusing process. After you put your styling products on, you can just go in and go straight to diffusing. I have done that before. And when I'm busy, when I'm, you know, if it's getting late, like tonight is actually getting late, I am filming in the night and I never, hardly ever film in the evening time. And in all honesty, I would really rather skip this wet plopping, but I want to be consistent. I want to give you the best shot to see what my total normal routine looks like, my results will be. So I'm choosing to wet plop, like I said, but if I would choose to skip it, I can. And my diffusing will go faster because there's not all this trapped moisture just holding on. It just helps make the whole routine go a little bit faster if you choose not to wet plop. But I think wet plopping just gives my curls, like I said, it gives a chance to marinate in there. But I feel like my hair, my curl clumps just come out better, and I just feel like overall I like how my curls look. I can't even really describe it to you. That's a terrible job for an influencer. I am so sorry. I cannot describe it to you. Maybe I should do it like a side-by-side sometime. Like following a routine with not wet plopping and then doing that exact same routine with wet plopping and look at the results. I think I have a new video idea. But anyways, all that to say is you can choose to wet plop like I do, or you can choose not to. If you don't, likely your drying time will be a little bit faster. If you do choose to wet plop, drying time will likely be a little bit longer. Now, the other option is you can go in with your hair once it's styled, and you can go in and take a t-shirt towel or cotton towel, whatever you have. I always use just like an extra large t-shirt. It's easy to get a hold of. It's inexpensive. And anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to just take your hair and cup it and gently squeeze. Or you don't even have to squeeze. You could just take your hair and cup it. Kind of go around as much as you can. That is called micro plopping, and that will help your dry time reduce even more. So that is another option that you can do. And if you're really pressed on time, go ahead and do it. I've done it, but like I said, this is just my favorite. Now that I have talked ad nauseum about this double plopping, we've let it sit on for like 10-15 minutes. I'm going to take this wet plop off. I'm going to do it upside down. I should have actually already started the process upside down because you can see it's kind of hanging off to the side here. This is why I don't just use this disposable shower cap. It just doesn't hang how I want it to. Let me get my camera in position though. By the way, before I start the diffusing process, let me just talk about my diffuser here for a minute. I have the Conair Infiniti Pro here. This is just a dryer that I got at Walmart. I do like the Conair brand. I found that they have lasted pretty well for me. I think I've had this like 2, maybe 3 years. I think 3 years actually, and she's still going pretty good. Then I have a SnozzlePro attachment, and then for the diffuser cup, I have the Xtava Black Orchid diffuser cup. Now, to be truthfully honest, I'm not even sure if they make this anymore. I'm not even sure if it's available for purchase. If you can get it, I totally recommend it. I like something that is a deeper diffuser cup. Now, you can get diffusers at all prices. You can just use what you find at the store. I don't remember if this particular dryer came with a diffuser. I kind of think it did. A lot of them do, and you can use those. It will work. Typically though, the diffuser isn't quite as good of quality. What I look for in a diffuser is something that actually diffuses the air. Something that does not allow your hair just to be blown all over the place like a regular blow dryer would. You want something that allows the heat to get in there and a little bit of air that will gently dry your curls, but not, like I said, whip it all around or anything like that. Another thing that I like is these prongs. Because this is a deeper diffuser cup, these prongs can get up to the scalp of my hair and dry that as well. They do have little holes in here. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, I think you can see that. So this just helps with the diffusing all over. My curls dry that sit in the cup, and my scalp also dries with these diffuser prongs. Now, as far as other diffuser cups that are good recommendations, to be truthfully honest, I don't necessarily have any. I guess the ones that I'm thinking of that I hear good recommendations for are like Leif-In dryer and diffuser, and then I also think like the Curlsmith dryer and diffuser are pretty good. Once again, those are more pricey. You can get away with just using whatever you find at Walmart or Target, things like that. You can do that. I, once again, like the Conair brand. All right, we've done a lot of talking. Let's get to diffusing. One more thing. What I will say is diffusing is not for the faint of heart. What I generally like to do is put in some earbuds and just like watch a video on YouTube. Or you could listen to some music, listen to a podcast, whatever it is you like to do. But generally, I need some entertainment. But for your sake, I'm not. Another reason why diffusing is not for the faint of heart is because I like to start diffusing upside down, and I generally diffuse upside down quite a bit. So if your back bothers you, do whatever position you're able to. But the reason why I do it in this form is because I wanted to get the curls that I like. I like the definition. I like the volume. So I'm striving for all of those things, and hence that's the reason why I do it in the position that I do. What I'm going to start out doing is I am going to hover diffuse over my hair, from like the base of my head and also the lengths of my hair just a little bit, as well as the underside. So that is what I'll be doing. I will fast forward through this because it can be very monotonous. And I am doing it on warm heat and low fan speed setting. Now that I have hover diffused, what I'm going to do is pixie diffuse. And this is where I take portions of my curls, portions of my hair, I put it in the cup, just kind of gently place it there, place the cup up to my head, and I turn it on. I leave that on for about 15-20 seconds, maybe even 30 if you feel like it. And I turn it off then, and I take the hair down, and I grab the next section, and we repeat the process. I put that in the cup, put that up to my head, and I'll turn it on. Now, the first time I go around, I do 4 sections. The next time I go around, I do 3 sections. And then we'll go from there. Alright, usually after going twice around, then I kind of flip to the side and I do the whole process all over again, where I still cup diffuse, or pixie diffuse I mean to say. I still cup the curls with the diffuser off and then turn it on. And I will do 3 to 4 sections on each side, and I will do that both sides probably a couple times. Alright, so I've only gone around once, but what I think I want to do now is I want to just focus this diffuser head on the roots of my hair. So I'm going to do that in kind of the upright position, and I'm also going to do that flipped over. So basically what I'm going to do is I am just going to go throughout different quadrants of my hair and place the diffuser there and leave it there once again for about 15, maybe 20 seconds. I will also, when I can, cup my curls in there, like so I'll lift them up and cup them in and leave the diffuser on. I'm leaving this diffuser on the entire time while I'm doing that, although I'm probably creating frizz here while I'm just kind of demonstrating this to you. The reason why is because I do have a slight bit of a cast that has already formed now on my hair from these products drying slightly. So before I create any more frizz in telling you, let's just do it, okay? And honestly, now at this point, I'm going to go around and continue this process of flipping from side to side or upside down, cupped or pixie diffusing my hair until I feel like my hair is about 80% dry, 80 to 90% dry. Right now, I say it feels like it's about 60%. So we really don't have all that long to go. Alright, now we come to a critical point. My hair is, I would say, about 90% dry. Now I could go in and continue to diffuse that remaining 10%, but for some reason that seems to take forever sometimes. So what I like to do a lot of times is just go around my house, do whatever it is I need to do. Do I need to do a load of laundry? Do I need to do some dusting or vacuuming? Do I need to whip up something quick in the kitchen? You know, I can do all that. Do I need to do some work on the computer? Whatever it is. I wouldn't really recommend going outside. I would try to stay in a controlled environment if you can, but otherwise, you know, you're free to kind of roam around, do what you need to do, and let the remaining 10% dry. Another option you could do is you could go in with a little working hairspray, and you could do this actually earlier in the process. You could do it at anywhere from, I would say, like 50% dry. Technically, you could do it while it's completely wet even, but you could go in with a little working hairspray and then continue diffusing a little bit. That's going to maybe suck up a little bit more of that moisture. It's going to just help a cast reform, because now at this point, I told you I had a cast earlier. There's still a slight bit of a cast, but most of it is gone now at this point. A lot of times that happens as you continue to dry, as the diffusing process or as the drying process gets more and more. A lot of times, at least for my hair type, a cast will break up even more. I can't speak for every hair type, but like I said, this is just my experience. There are occasions where I keep the cast clear throughout, but that's usually for specific gels, in particular gels or mousses. There is a particular mousse I'm thinking of. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this hair, like I said, air dry a little bit, and then I will go in probably and diffuse a little bit more even at the end, and then we'll see what my hair looks like then. We'll see the final results. Now that my hair is fully dry, I'm going to go in and diffuse this one last time. I'm just going to go around and I'm going to pixie diffuse upside down just to try to get a little bit more fluff, a little bit more volume, and there's no cast related breakup, but like I said, just get a little more fluff and volume. So let's do that. And let's take a look at what the final reveal looks like. So look at this hair. Oh my goodness. So I have great bounce. I have minimal frizz, great definition, spring to my curls, everything that I love to see. And diffusing is honestly a big part of that routine. If I did not diffuse my hair would be very much elongated, it'd be much more frizzy, and I wouldn't have all this volume and definition. So let me give you, like I said, a little bit better of a look of this. Okay, let's show you the sides here. Is this a good side to show? Maybe I should show the other side. I don't know. Look at that. Can you get over that? I mean, I'm loving it. So yes, diffusing is extra work, but it also yields fantastic results in my opinion. It does take practice. It will be something that you have to just play around with your technique. This is my technique, and I think that it really helps contribute to volume, like I said, definition, minimal frizz, and just general spring to my curls, general bounce to my curls. But you can play around with your techniques. Maybe you don't, like I said earlier, maybe you can't stay flipped over in that position that long. That's okay. Maybe just try doing more side to side motions. In all honesty, I was staying cocked over a lot more than I needed to, primarily just because I didn't want to keep turning the camera up and down and giving the camera whiplash basically. So you can adjust it however you need. I can't guarantee that it's going to give you quite as much volume or anything, but drying your curls in general, in my opinion, is the best option to give your curls better spring, better definition, and even increase some volume. I think I'm repeating myself enough. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Let me know how I could better help you. And until I see you again in the next video, have a great day. Bye, friends.